I've been to 1,000 battles, seen the battle turn, say something to bleed, say something to smack, like, so I'm used to it. It's like, it's a big spectacle. Just the first time somebody said my name,
Right. According to rumors, Remy is still having emotional difficulties following Papoose's official connection with Clarissa Shields. She is said to have been trying to get Papoose back by sending him sexual photos and videos. Papoose has reportedly stated that he has not forgiven Remy for cheating on him throughout their relationship, indicating that he is still preoccupied with old issues. He has even talked about how and when he learned about it, giving an account of a very intricate circumstance. The direct chats between Papoose and Clarissa were published a few weeks ago by Remy, who claimed that they were a part of a bigger effort to damage her reputation. Clarissa Shields seemed to advise Papoose to take action on Remy because she was worried about how her PR team could react. Additionally, she alluded to a big bombshell that she was unable to reveal before the late December release of her movie. Workers called the police after Remy accused Papoose of domestic abuse, saying he had assaulted her in a garage. Papoose refuted the accusations, arguing that Remy had cheated on him. Remy allegedly removed more texts that Papoose and Clarissa had exchanged while publicly denouncing her for having a relationship with him. During their 15-year marriage, Papoose accused Remy of being a narcissist who frequently cheated on him and of putting public drama ahead of private problem solving for the benefit of their little daughter. Papoose openly expressed his dissatisfaction, claiming that he had frequently filed for divorce, but that Remy was more interested in controlling problems on social media than handling them like an adult. He firmly denied ever planning Remy's arrest and expressed concern that the drama on social media overshadowed their 6-year-old child's well-being. He denounced her for fabricating text messages from more than 10 years ago to defend her behavior and sway public opinion. Tensions increased even more because of Remy's liaison with battle rapper E. Akala claimed to have seen Papoose violently attacking E at a rap concert, causing mayhem in the room. During appearances in April 2023, fans also conjectured about Remy and E's increasing intimacy. However, Remy refuted any accusations of infidelity on Twitter. The controversy continued when Jay revealed her encounters with E behind Papoose's back during a rap battle. Papoose reportedly couldn't stand to watch Remy and E together, which is why he was conspicuously absent from this event. Papoose felt deceived by someone he stood by even during her incarceration as a result of the continued consequences, underscoring how complicated and emotionally intense the cases become.
Down in prison for 6 years. I know it was nice, he cried big tears. He's still biting on the biggest accomplishment front row, giving you big tears. Now y'all got a beautiful baby girl who oh so amazing. He'll be damned if he moves until his bumps on the braces. The world ain't never supposed to know what you and me going through. Hey, the world ain't never supposed to know what you and me going through. But this nigga behind closed doors running his mouth like a hoe supposed to do. That niggas making blogs and YouTubes, people arguing in the comments and those posts.
Regardless, Remy persisted in refuting the accusations. In fact, she was calm and unconcerned when 15 Minutes of Fame Radio questioned her about the rap war, pointing out that what Ebbett had said was just repeating what had been going around on blogs for the previous 3 or 4 months. Even while Remy persisted in denying the claims, Ebbett appeared to corroborate the affair in a since deleted audio tape that John shared. Ebbett allegedly said stuff like, "Yo, we were messing with each other," in the recording. "She was unfaithful to him, such and such. Whatever occurred, I ought to have." John continued by saying he was merely teasing Remy and that given the circumstances in New York, he could have responded similarly if he had been in Papoose's position. Papoose claims that Remy's alleged adultery with him was ongoing. It was said to have continued for years during their time together. Additionally, there have been allegations that Papoose might have been unfaithful. For instance, back in 2017, a woman got down with Tasha K to give her side of the story. She explained that she had a child with Papoose and just wanted to correct the record because she was receiving a lot of criticism about it. There were rumors that this affair started when Remy was incarcerated. A lot of people also wondered if Papoose could have stayed true at that time. Some even conjectured that Remy might have given him a pass since she didn't think he would stay faithful, only to find out later that he had a child that she was unaware of. Papoose has vehemently refuted every allegation of infidelity. He identified the woman circulating the accusations and labeled them false in a long Instagram post. He said that the woman had gotten thousands of followers by making up the tale with the assistance of a blogger. He continued, "I love the ground my wife walks on and would never cheat, but hypothetically, if I did, it would never be with someone this unattractive." He said that he and his wife will continue to fight for fidelity and marriage, speculating that someone might have bribed these women to fabricate the narrative. In the end, Papoose maintains that Remy was the one who cheated on her for years, and he claims she's unable to accept that he's moved on. In an effort to win him back, she has allegedly been sending him images and videos. During a romantic vacation in Hawaii, during what many are referring to as Hawaii Fest 2025, Papoose formally announced his romance with Clarissa Shields. Since then, the couple has been spending more time together in public. When asked about Remy, Papoose insists that he had filed for divorce several times after learning of her infidelity a long time ago. Fans are still debating the drama, but the matter is still murky because they haven't been divorced yet. In the space provided for comments below, you can express your opinions about this intricate tale. Papoose has long been regarded as one of the most direct voices in hip-hop, someone who confronts controversy head-on without hesitation. However, fans were unprepared for the moment he disclosed how and when he discovered Remy Ma had reportedly been cheating on him and lying to him for years. Fans have been divided and speculating over the long-running drama between Papoose and Remy, which has seen public arguments, social media exchanges, speculations, and several accusations. The story appears straightforward. For years,
while Remy dealt with her own challenges such as court cases and incarceration, Papoose stayed devoted to his family as a faithful husband and father. However, Papoose claims that behind the public image was a personal tale of betrayal, concealment, and emotional upheaval that had only lately started to come to light. Papoose meticulously detailed the sequence of events in a number of open interviews, social media posts, and published receipts, describing the turning point that made him face a reality he hadn't wanted to witness. Allegedly, it all began long before the general public was even made aware of it. Over the years, Papoose said that Remy's actions were becoming more and more at odds with her words. He claimed to have noticed subtle indicators, contradicting stories, inexplicable absences, and patterns of secrecy that weren't commensurate with the kind of devotion he expected from their marriage. Papoose described it as a pattern that exposed a deeper level of deceit, while some followers speculated that these were just typical arguments in any long-term relationship. He described incidents in which he allegedly had private conversations with people that implied emotional and potentially physical ties outside of the marriage. In interviews, he clarified that although he wanted to trust her, there were times when he just couldn't ignore the warning signs. He started to record them in private, keeping track of information that subsequently validated his darkest suspicions. When suspicions about Remy's relationship with the battle rapper known as E started to spread, the situation allegedly got worse. Social media posts, leaked communications, and eyewitness accounts formed a picture that was getting harder to ignore. Although Remy officially refuted these claims, Papoose asserted that he had first-hand knowledge of her encounters with E, some of which were supported by deleted audio clips, direct messages, and other private recordings that turned up online. Papoose claimed that the evidence was more than circumstantial. He recounted a number of instances in which he either saw or learned of actions that blatantly betrayed the confidence he had placed in her. According to Papoose, the turning point, the precise moment he realized she had been lying, occurred when he made connections to various occurrences over a number of years and saw that the patterns were recurring, constant, and intentional. It wasn't a single isolated incident. It was the culmination of years of behavior that went against her guarantees and public declarations. He described this event as emotionally painful, heartbreaking, and yet illuminating. It made Papoose face not only Remy's claimed adultery, but also the ways their marriage had been maligned and twisted in public. The controversy escalated at this point, when bloggers and social media users started spreading allegations about Papoose and Remy. Some said she had strayed from him during their marriage, while others said he had cheated while she was behind bars. Papoose tackled these head-on, exposing the stories he thought were false, while also denying any wrongdoing on his part. He posted tales and postings on Instagram that described how some people had obtained followers by making false claims, and how a certain blogger had assisted in spreading these lies to earn attention and influence. Papoose frequently made scathing remarks in public, claiming that he respected and loved his wife, but would never cheat, and that if he had, it would never have been with someone he didn't think was suitable or attractive. Papoose talked about the effects on his child while the social media controversy raged, stressing that his top priority remained protecting his 6-year-old daughter from needless poison, despite the drama's public nature.
He described times when, in spite of the rumors circulating, he decided to keep quiet on social media sites like Instagram in order to keep his child out of adult disputes. With Hawaii and Clarissa Shields, the story took a new turn. After a romantic vacation, Papoose formally announced his relationship with Clarissa Shields, which many fans have taken as him moving on and rediscovering happiness. Remy claimed she had been sending pornographic pictures and videos in an attempt to re-enter his life, and this public confirmation only seemed to intensify her purported attempts to win back his attention. This behavior, according to Papoose, reinforced the truth of the past he had uncovered. The falsehoods, the acclaimed adultery, and the continued manipulation, while simultaneously highlighting her inability to accept that he had moved on. He openly discussed how, in spite of these difficulties, he had made several attempts to manage issues in private, including filing for divorce and trying to settle disputes away from social media sites. He bemoaned the fact that these efforts were disregarded and that instead misleading narratives were disseminated to portray him negatively, intensifying public drama. Papoose also considered the dynamics of loyalty and trust in his marriage. He disclosed that although he had been trying to give Remy the benefit of the doubt for years, some revelations such as leaked communications and supporting audio made it hard to deny the situation's reality. He made it clear that his goal was never to publicly humiliate her, but rather to make the truth clear to his family, his supporters, and everyone else who had been duped by inaccurate or incomplete information. In contrast to the years of alleged deceit he endured in his marriage, Papoose emphasized how he and Clarissa Shields had created a relationship based on respect, openness, and understanding in his account of the events leading up to the Hawaii vacation. He stated that he was able to heal and set boundaries that were essential to his emotional health thanks to this new relationship. Papoose also discussed the larger framework of public perception, elucidating how rumors and partial truths can warp reality, especially when they are magnified by entertainment news sources and social media. He described several incidents in which reporters and fans believed he was involved in acts or behaviors in which he was not involved just because the stories were dramatic or captivating. He contended that these false claims merely made an already precarious position more difficult. Papoose continued to convey a consistent message in spite of the chaos. His priorities continued to be honesty, loyalty, and taking care of his family. He emphasized that although people may conjecture, the truth ultimately resides in the facts he has recorded, his own experiences, and the evidence he has made public. He also made it apparent that, although he had somewhat forgiven, he could not overlook years of purported dishonesty, and that, to move on, he had to acknowledge the reality. Personal accountability was a recurring issue in Papoose's blogs and interviews. He emphasized that the main work in relationships occurs behind closed doors, not on Instagram or Twitter, and contrasted his approach to dispute with what he perceived as manipulation, public posturing, and social media theatrics. He talked on the psychological effects of handling extremely private affairs while under public scrutiny, and how this had influenced his views on limits, communication, and trust in close relationships. As the narrative progressed, Papoose also discussed the responses of friends, relatives, and co-workers, some of whom had been aware of the dynamics but had kept quiet to avoid drawing attention to themselves. He pointed out that these responses varied from astonishment to support, but that in the end, he had to rely on his own discretion and comprehension of the circumstances. He explained the process of assembling data over time, examining behavioral trends, and coming to conclusions based on what he believed to be the indisputable truth. Discussions regarding the media's influence on public opinion were also addressed in the story. Papoose discussed how facts can be distorted by blogs, influencers, and even casual observers, sometimes inadvertently, sometimes on purpose, creating an environment where it becomes challenging to distinguish fact from fiction. Noting that false information can have serious repercussions for families and reputations, he advised fans to weigh context, facts, and direct words before making judgments. Papoose consistently reaffirmed his will to proceed with dignity and purpose in spite of the seriousness of the accusations and the level of public scrutiny. He talked about how his relationship with Clarissa Shields was a new beginning, and how establishing trust in a new partnership required putting an emphasis on openness and communication. He also considered the lessons he had learned during his marriage to Remy, such as the significance of identifying red flags, appreciating integrity, and taking precautions.